So someone cut off from their anger often will feel the external result being they can't access the grit or the stamina or the resilience to do hard things. They're cut off from their anger. So when they come across a challenge or when their goal is blocked, all they can do is kind of crumple and wilt like a tender flower. I for a long time I jokingly said that I never had a threesome that I liked. And I meant because it was like there was always something that went wrong. There was always some uncontrollable aspect. And I think nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you
Mm.
that these very fantastical experiences that you imagine are going to be great are actually very real world experiences with very real people who are
Mhm.
all very flesh
Mhm.
and blood and don't know how to do this certain move and haven't tried this kind of yoga pose before, and we're all kind of in it together. Nobody explains that.
Yeah.
Whenever a couple tells me, yeah, 3 weeks in and we got into a real good tiff, man, it was like, but you know what? We're really working on it. We're people who really believe in the value of constant evolution. I'm like, dude, 3 weeks in, you need to get out. If it's miserable 3 weeks in, find a new love. So that's when I would say, when you see red flags early, like very early on.
I'm really prone to like sticking it out, being really committed, rolling up my sleeves, working on the relationship. Whereas I think a lot of people that I've come across have this attitude that relationships are just supposed to be easy breezy cover girl all the time. And if there's challenges or something that's not perfect for a while, oh, like that's a sign that it's not right. I can just like get out of here and find a greener grass somewhere else, and like so averse to facing the shadow and doing the work are these people that they'll abandon ship before they've given it a proper chance. And then conversely, like I've also noticed there's this type of person who I've also definitely been in the past who clings to a relationship way longer than they should because of like, some sunk cost fallacy or belief
Yes.
that, no matter how tough it gets, how shitty it makes them feel, how terrible this person treats them, they've just got to stick it out and make it work because, yeah,
Yeah.
relationships do take work. And like, I've invested all this time in this person and I can fix it and I can save it. And, so like, how do we find a healthy balance? And how do we know if we're falling into one of these categories?
We're all living in the great awareness that we live in the marketplace and
Yeah.
that we are disposable goods to some extent. That's not just romance. I mean, that's
Mm,
that's jobs. That's
mhm.
every aspect, right? Why work on redeeming someone when you can simply go find someone else without a history?
And there's also people that are so addicted to drama and they have so much, I mean, it's their baseline, it's normal for them that if they do find themselves 3 weeks in and there's already drama and all of these red flags popping up, they don't see those as red flags because that has been their baseline for so long, and they are kind of addicted to the drama. And also something I can't stand, which I hear a lot, people are so addicted to this fiery, crazy sex. And oh my God, it was amazing, so dramatic. And it's like outside the bedroom, they're fighting all the time. It's like makeup and breakup sex constantly. They're in this drama cycle with one another and they're feeding into one another's toxic patterns. But the sex is so fiery and so intense that they become addicted to that, like chemically and emotionally. And they mistake that for a deep connection. It's a really big pitfall that I see a lot of people, um, people traversing that path where they're mistaking chemistry and fire and sexual spark for compatibility and for deep love and connection and intimacy.
Yeah, and I mean, that addiction to that breach and repair cycle is so common. We get addicted to the payoff
Mm,
that comes from those
mm,
repairs sometimes. And of
mhm.
course, if you're addicted to the payoff of repair, you get really good at creating breaches.
Oh yeah.